It was a new moon night, and an eerie silence enveloped the entire village. In one of the village houses, Rajendra and Gita were scolding their son, Varun. Varun, who was blind, stood quietly as his parents reprimanded him. "How many times have I told you, Varun, to talk to people politely? How could you speak to your uncle like that today?" He felt so insulted and left in anger. "He may never come back again," Rajendra said sternly. "Good. It's better if he doesn't come back," Varun retorted. Hearing this, Rajendra slapped him. "Enough! Go to bed now, or I'll hit you so hard that... Yes, hit me. Kill your blind son. He doesn't matter, right? But the man who comes here and insults me does," Varun shouted, tears welling up in his eyes. "Go to your room now." "We will talk about this tomorrow," Rajendra barked. Varun, sobbing, made his way to his bed, but stumbled and fell. Rajendra and Gita rushed to help him, but he pushed their hands away. "Leave me. I can walk by myself," he said. He managed to reach his bed, but sleep evaded him. His mind was restless. "Why should I stay in a place where I am not respected?" he thought. He made up his mind. He had to leave. Varun quietly got up from his bed and, without telling anyone, slipped out of the house. The dark, silent village streets looked frightening, but Varun, using his hands to feel the walls, slowly wandered through the village. Unknowingly, he reached the haunted bungalow, a place notorious in the village for being cursed. Without thinking, he started climbing the stairs of the bungalow. Inside, an unsettling silence seemed to penetrate his very soul. "Where am I? Why is it so quiet here?" Varun wondered. Suddenly, hundreds of bats flew past him, their wings brushing against his head. His heart skipped a beat, but he quickly composed himself. It must be the haunted bungalow, he thought, realizing where he was. His hands searched for something to hold on to, but instead his foot hit something. His heart stopped for a moment, but it was just a cat that meowed and ran away. That scared me. "I thought I was done for," Varun muttered, relieved. But the real fear was yet to begin. Suddenly he heard a voice. "How long has it been since you came?" The most terrifying part was that the voice sounded exactly like his own. "Who are you?" "What do you want?" Varun asked, his voice trembling. "Who are you? What do you want?" The voice echoed back. "I can't see. Please let me go," Varun pleaded. "I can't see. Please let me go," the voice repeated. Panic-stricken, Varun tried to find his way back, but realized he had lost his sense of direction. Meanwhile, back at home, Rajendra woke up to get some water and noticed Varun was not in his bed. "Gita, wake up! Varun is not in the house," Rajendra said in alarm. Both parents frantically searched every corner of the house, but found no trace of him. Could he have gone to his friend Lav's house in anger? Gita suggested. They rushed to Lav's house and knocked on the door. A sleepy Lav opened it. "Uncle, Aunt, what are you doing here at this hour?" Lav asked. "Is Varun here?" Rajendra asked anxiously. "No, he isn't. Why? What happened?" Rajendra and Gita explained everything, and the three of them set out to search for Varun throughout the village. After searching everywhere, they finally reached the haunted bungalow. Suddenly, they heard Varun's voice from inside. "Someone, please save me. It will kill me." Their blood ran cold. "Varun, son, come out," Rajendra shouted. "Papa, I can't find the way out. I'm stuck," Varun cried. "We have to go inside," Gita said, her voice trembling. The three of them cautiously approached the bungalow. The door creaked open on its own, as if inviting them in. Once inside, Lav turned on his phone's flashlight, and they began searching for Varun. Meanwhile, Varun was unaware that his parents and Lav had entered the bungalow. He heard voices, but they seemed to belong to someone else. Suddenly, something miraculous happened. Varun, who had been blind since birth, started to see. A faint light appeared before his eyes. What is happening? How can I see? He wondered, his heart pounding. He moved toward the mysterious light. The closer he got, the brighter the light became. Finally, he reached the source of the light and saw two people burning in flames, their screams echoing in the hall. Who are they? Why are they burning? Varun thought, terrified. He tried to run away, but the burning figures grabbed his hand. Meanwhile, Rajendra, Geeta, and Lav continued their search. In a corner, they found Varun sitting with his head on his knees, crying. "Varun, we are here. Let's go home," Geeta called out. But Varun didn't respond. Rajendra approached him and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Varun, let's go, son," Rajendra said gently. Varun slowly lifted his head. What they saw froze them in their tracks. Varun's face was burnt. His eyes were hollow black pits, and his lips were stained with blood. This is not our Varun," Rajendra gasped. Suddenly, the burned Varun lunged at them. They stumbled back in terror and ran deeper into the bungalow. In the darkness, they bumped into the real Varun. "Varun, is it really you?" Geeta asked, her voice shaking. "Yes, it's me. Why are you so scared?" Varun replied. "We need to leave now," Rajendra said, grabbing Varun's hand, but Varun hesitated. "First, tell me, why did you kill them?" "What are you talking about?" Rajendra asked, confused. "You killed them. Why?" Varun demanded. Suddenly, the room's atmosphere changed. Two terrifying spirits appeared, their eyes glowing like red embers, and their faces twisted in horrifying smiles. "You killed them, and now it's your turn," one spirit said, lifting Rajendra into the air. "No, please let him go," Geeta begged. "If you don't want him to die, tell us the truth," the spirit demanded. Rajendra finally confessed. Years ago, he worked as a servant in the bungalow. Out of jealousy and rage, he set the house on fire and kidnapped the owner's newborn child, claiming him as his own. The spirits revealed that they were the souls of the murdered couple. They cursed Rajendra and disappeared after granting Varun the gift of sight. As the flames consumed the bungalow, Rajendra paid the price for his sins, while Geeta, Lav, and Varun escaped. Varun, now able to see, bid farewell to the spirits of his real parents, tears streaming down his face. Varun, Geeta, and Lav stumbled out of the haunted bungalow, gasping for breath. The flames engulfing the structure roared behind them, lighting up the dark, eerie village night. The distant cries of Rajendra, now a part of the bungalow's curse, faded as the three escaped into the open air. The chilling silence of the village returned, broken only by the crackling of fire consuming the haunted bungalow. Varun, still shaken, leaned against a tree, his newfound vision overwhelmed by the brightness of the world around him. "Varun," Geeta whispered, tears streaming down her face. You can see now?" Varun nodded slowly. "Yes, Mother. I can see, and I can finally see the truth." His voice was steady but heavy with emotion. Lav, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "We need to go home. It's not safe here." Geeta placed a trembling hand on Varun's shoulder. "Let's go, son. We have faced enough for one night." As they made their way back to the village, Varun's mind was a whirlwind of emotions. The memories of his true parents, the fire, and the curse lingered in his thoughts. He had spent his life in darkness, both literal and metaphorical. Now with sight came clarity and a painful truth. When they finally reached home, the small house seemed different. The once familiar walls now felt foreign, the shadows cast by the flickering lamp reminding them of the horrors they had just escaped. Geeta sat down, exhausted and shaken. "Varun, your father. I can't believe what he did." Varun, now seeing the face of the woman who had raised him, knelt beside her. "He made mistakes, terrible mistakes. But Mother, you didn't know. You've always been my strength. That hasn't changed." Love spoke softly. What happened tonight was more than just a haunting. It was justice. But we can't let it define us. Varun, you've been given a second chance. Sight, freedom, and the truth. What will you do with it? Varun looked up, his once unseeing eyes now sharp and filled with determination. I will honor the memory of my real parents and the life they were denied. I'll also honor the love and care you gave me, Mother. I'll use this second chance to make things right, for myself and for others who live in darkness, whether they can see or not. The next morning, as the village woke to the news of the burning bungalow, Varun stood outside his house, the sun casting its first light on his face. He took a deep breath, feeling the warmth and seeing the world clearly for the first time. He turned to Geeta and Love. It's time to begin anew. There are others like me, others who feel trapped in darkness, whether because of fear, doubt, or circumstances. I want to help them see the light, just like I have. Lav nodded, a smile forming. You've always had the strength, Varun. Now you have the vision to lead the way. Geeta, with tears of pride in her eyes, said, Go, my son. Show the world that even in the darkest night, a spark of light can ignite change. As Varun walked toward the village square, the shadows of the past faded with each step. He knew his journey was just beginning. He would not only be a beacon of hope for the blind, but also for those blinded by fear, hatred, and despair. The haunted bungalow, now reduced to ashes, stood as a reminder of the darkness that once held him captive. But Varun had emerged from it stronger, wiser, and determined to spread the light of truth and hope. Every journey through darkness is an opportunity to find your light. Varun's story teaches us that no matter how lost we feel, there is always a way out. A path guided by courage, truth, and the will to see beyond fear. Now it's your turn. Are you trapped in your own darkness? Whether it's fear, doubt, or the shadows of the past, remember, the light you seek is within you. Take that first step, embrace the truth, and become the beacon of hope for yourself and others. Thank you for watching. Subscribe more horror stories.